That is not the temple that Solomon built. That was destroyed in 586 BC. This was rebuilt bigger by King Herod the Great, okay? But what you need to know is you would hang out, and this is where you would celebrate Pentecost. Now, Pentecost in Greek just means 50th. That's what it means. So Pentecost happens after, again, we won't go into big stuff here, but there were these festivals around Passover. One of them was the Feast of First Fruits. 50 days after that is Pentecost. So that's what it means. It was a harvest festival. You were to thank God for the harvest that had just come in. There was a kind of a first fruit thing there where you would give him, hey, this is the first fruits of the wheat harvest, and there would be bread, and it's like, God, thank you. You're the one who makes this possible. So everybody is there. This, by the way, when I say everybody, the census, the population of Jerusalem would swell by maybe up to a couple 100,000 people, because everybody's coming in from around the empire. But this little group is together in one place, we read. Are they still in the upper room? Maybe, probably. But it looks like, and I'll show you where, the scene changes eventually. It's just common sense, and you'll see where it is. But it says, suddenly, there is a sound like wind. It's not wind, but trying to describe it, a sound like wind comes from heaven. Remember that detail. Comes from heaven. It must have been so loud that it attracted the neighbors in the surrounding area, like, what is going on? Now, I want you to understand something. God is not showing off here. God is talking to these first believers, these Christ followers, who are coming from a Jewish background. They are thoroughly Hebrew in the way they think. But if you want to understand Pentecost, remember, in the Hebrew scriptures, wind and fire are symbols of God's glorious presence. The Spirit of God, in Hebrew, the Spirit of God, the word there is ruach. Let me hear you say ruach. That means the Spirit, but it can also mean wind. Now, by the time you start to read the Hebrew scriptures, all the way back in Genesis 1, Ruach Elohim, the Spirit of God hovered over the waters. You get to Job, the Ruach of God is in my nostrils. He gives me life. You get to a really interesting vision given to the prophet Ezekiel in chapter 37, where the wind blows through this valley and brings to life these dry bones. And it says this symbol of God is not finished, and he's going to raise up Israel again. All of this is wind. It's wind. It's the ruach. Even if you get to the Greek,